proceed with a great Monday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Seattle Seahawks. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Start on the ground here on first down. And they'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Browns, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the during his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there for a big one. That is sack number 200 for his career. It ties him with Bruce Smith for the all-time NFL record. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Nelson. He finds his man complete. That's Santos. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st down, Nelson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look for touchdown Browns. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2nd and 5. And man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. That one a first down. 8. The Seahawks at 7-5 now in the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. He'll look to throw. Oh, tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. He's taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did really make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
Set to throw is Nelson. Looking to throw on second down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Anthony Schwartz. He has career touchdown number 78, tying in with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Browns are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. New York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now a throw from his fullback out of the backfield. So nothing doing there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that would go close quickly. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Taken from just outside the 30. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Nelson. And he went from this man, Schwartz. That's complete. Touchdown! Anthony Schwartz with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right now. Now they're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Hauled in. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. They'll look to throw here. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. The Browns are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 21-0 our score after 1. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Here's a give up the middle. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
And they'll run again. He takes this again for a Brown score. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And it is 28-0. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Okay, ready? Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared. You want to get it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Ready.
Back to throw here. That's taken in by the tight end fan. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now back to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Oh, no.
Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to pull the playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his man. No, bottled up. Oh, it's out. It's loose. There, this is picked up by the Browns.
We have seen this before. And we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Nelson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And it is 42-0. ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. Nelson. This is Donnell with a grab. He's brought down here just outside of the 20. And that throw there going to put him over 4,000 yards passing now for the season, maybe strengthening his MVP consideration.
And you figure with still a handful of games left to play, 5,000 yards is not totally out of the realm of possibility. The way he is playing, I think he's going to get there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Nelson. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Santos. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run for it on 1st and goal. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Black Ultra.
Back to throw. Wilson. That's going to be caught from Browns. Touchdown. Anthony Schwartz on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by York is up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And it will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, he has now done it. That is career sack number 201. He has the all-time NFL record, surpassing the previous mark set by Hall of Famer Bruce Smith. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. That decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, cross field.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Here's Walker to start the drive. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Wilder. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Nelson now to throw on 3rd down. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it a little more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized. But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
That's good. And he'll be taken right down the chalk at a 45. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. Now, they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that, momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard, because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give him the down
to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because
possibly.
I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up to throw. On the move to his left. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll try the option right here on 3rd down. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
York able to send this one through. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll run the ball the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guy. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they'll get that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Straight ahead, Walker. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They're going to look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Sticking with Walker on second down. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. And obviously they want that run yardage, so they decline the penalty.
No doubt about it. Smart on their part. They finished off the play. But if you're going to jump, if you're going to commit a penalty, it's your job to finish off the play so you don't give up big gains like that.
Check contact. Ready.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Walker with another carry.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the fourth quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
Ready?
And they take a knee. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Browns, the win will be their 12th now on the campaign. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams.